Following the 1947 partition, India and Pakistan found themselves sharing the Indus River system that is vital for agriculture, drinking water, and hydropower. With India controlling all major headworks, Pakistan feared water deprivation could become a form of hydrological coercion. In 1951, the atmosphere grew tense as India hinted at diverting water from canals feeding Pakistan. Reports noted Islamabad's warning of a potential water war if a fair settlement was not reached. Both nations turned to an unexpected mediator while facing escalating mistrust, the World Bank. Spearheaded by Senator Eugene Black, 6 years of negotiation culminated in a treaty aimed at tempering conflict over this life-giving resource. On September 19, 1960, Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru and President Ayub Khan signed the Indus Waters Treaty (IWT). Under the agreement, India retained rights over the eastern rivers, Ravi, Abeyance, and Satluj, while Pakistan received the western rivers, Indus, Jhelum, and Chenab. During a transitional decade, India committed to safeguarding downstream water transfers while Pakistan built canal infrastructure, which India helped fund. A permanent Indus Commission, with commissioners from both nations, was set up to address water sharing and related disputes. The step-by-step dispute resolution process from direct dialogue to neutral experts and, if needed, World Bank arbitration became a model of peace amidst regional strife. Despite its turbulent relationship, India and Pakistan managed to preserve water sharing through subsequent wars, thereby earning the treaty a reputation as one of history's most durable agreements. For over 60 years, the IWT enabled agricultural and economic stability in Pakistan, where the Indus Basin supports up to 60% of the country's agriculture. India used its rivers to develop hydropower and irrigation projects. Several disputes such as Pakistan's challenges to India's Baghlihar Dam and Kishangangai projects were sent through arbitration and adjudicate under treaty provisions. In working form for decades, the treaty stood as a beacon of bilateral cooperation in an oftentimes combative relationship. Over the decades, unprecedented demographic growth and climate change began testing the treaty's relevance. South Asia's population, 4 to 5 times larger than in 1960, increased water demand substantially. Meanwhile, Himalayan glacier retreat projected to reduce river flows by 8% by mid-century cast doubt on water availability. Yet the treaty offered no flexibility for groundwater regulation, revised hydrology, or climate variability. India's ambitious dam projects on western rivers, especially in Kashmir, created fresh tension, prompting local calls in Pakistan, 2003, to revisit the treaty's terms. In April 2025, after a terrorist attack in Indian-administered Kashmir, India blamed militants based in Pakistan. On April 23, New Delhi suspended the IWT, halting scheduled water flows from the western rivers. Pakistan denounced the move as a water war, seeking World Bank intervention and warning that its national security was now at risk. Adding to the alarm, India began flushing dams, a move interpreted as reducing downstream water flows to maximize reservoir storage. The Indus Commission has remained inactive, casting water sharing arrangements into legal limbo. While New Delhi advocates renegotiation, with a focus on climate, dam safety, and increased data transparency, Pakistan demands immediate measures to resume water flows and preserve its agrarian economy. Pakistan relies on the Indus Basin for about 90% of its agriculture and 60% of its exports. Any disruption threatens the livelihoods of over 300 million people. The combination of erratic river flows and collapsing groundwater could devastate farmers and trigger food crises. Major protests have erupted in agricultural regions such as Sindh's Babaloi, with drought and water shortages reverberating toward urban centers through rising food prices. India also faces repercussions. Water diversion may reduce its own downstream supply, affecting hydropower and irrigation, particularly in states dependent on Himalayan runoff. Moreover, this policy risks damaging India's global image as a responsible actor on water security. diplomatic or legal crossroads, India is pushing for treaty revision, citing climate threats, dam proliferation, and security concerns. The Vienna Convention allows for a 12-month notice before withdrawal, a move Pakistan fears could dismantle the IWT entirely. Pakistan is leveraging arbitration, as it did with Kishangangaa and Rautal disputes, and seeking higher-level mediation through the UN and World Bank. Meanwhile, both countries have agreed to pause technical talks while diplomatic ties deteriorate. As the treaty lies in indefinite abeyance, regional and global stakeholders watch closely. Its collapse could have far-reaching consequences for peace in South Asia and water-sharing frameworks worldwide. The crisis reflects a broader global challenge. Once trusted treaties are strained by climate shifts, population growth, and geopolitical competition. The IWT became the world's gold standard for transboundary river cooperation. If it fails, future agreements over shared water could falter. Beyond South Asia, other regions, like the Nile or Euphrates, are monitoring closely. If large-scale water diplomacy collapses here, it could embolden unilateral resource tactics elsewhere. With history as a backdrop, the Indus Water Treaty reminds us that cooperation over shared resources can transcend conflict. But in 2025, water is again weaponized. The treaty's breakdown threatens food systems, livelihoods, and environmental sustainability across two nuclear-armed neighbors. Yet there is hope. A durable solution might emerge through adapting the treaty with modern frameworks, climate-responsive clauses, joint infrastructure funds, and inclusive governance. It remains to be seen whether India and Pakistan will honor their legacy of water diplomacy, or whether rivers will become battle lines in South Asia's next crisis. Rivers once brought life and peace. Now, they risk turning into fault lines. What do you think is the future of the Indus Waters Treaty? Should it be salvaged, or is it time to rethink the model completely? Drop your thoughts in comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep this conversation flowing.